We are going to work on perimeter today. This is a review, I think, until we get to the polygon part. So the idea is I'm going to go over some terms and some examples today. And these are the exact things that I have you doing in your assignment. So you're going to click on the PDF and you're going to work on that assignment. There's a lot of work assigned here. There's 6 pages. Take your time with it. That's to last you the whole week. So if you don't finish it all on Monday or Tuesday or even Wednesday, that's okay. If I were you, I would do probably like 2 pages at a time. Seems like a reasonable thing, like 2 pages a day to work through. So the first day is just going to be a bit of a review. Perimeter. What the heck is perimeter again? You might be asking. And I will remind you that perimeter is the measure of the distance around the outside of a shape. So I'm actually doing perimeter with Weston. He's in grade 1 and he's just starting to learn about these sorts of things. So he got like a heart shape and his teacher said, how would you figure out the distance around the heart? And so it takes him a lot longer and stuff because he's just learning it. But we talked about how the line that shows the heart, I'll just do a little example here. If we start at one spot and we laid down string and went all the way around the heart, the distance around the outside of the shape is what we are trying to figure out when we are talking about perimeter. So we're going to start easy peasy with just some of these shapes that we're familiar with. We'll start with rectangles. And when you're doing your work today, you're going to see that sometimes they give you a rectangle. This one kind of looks like a square, but I've made sure to put the numbers on it so that you could see, no, it's not a square because all 4 sides are not equal. So on a rectangle, you have 2 parallel sides are always equal to each other. That's what makes a rectangle a rectangle. So any 2 sides that are like opposite from each other on the rectangle, you know they're going to be the same. So I've only marked one side on my rectangle. We're going to call this the length. Today I've just marked the length and I've written that it is 4 centimeters. So although my drawings are not perfect, you'll have to use your imagination. You know I am not an artiste. If I know on a rectangle that this is 4 centimeters, then what do I also know? That's right, that the bottom is 4 centimeters. So if a teacher tells you this is a rectangle, even though it looks like maybe it's a little wider on the bottom, trust them and know that these 2 sides will be the same. Same thing for these 2 sides, which also run parallel to one another. They talked about being parallel in a video that I put last week, right? About how those lines will run side by side and will never intersect. That's how we know if they're parallel. So if this one is 5 centimeters, then this side that runs parallel to it is also going to be 5 centimeters. So when I am figuring out my perimeter, I need to know the sum. So another way we can figure this out, because we know that we can figure out different math concepts with formulas. So I could say that perimeter is equal to side plus side plus side plus side. That looks like a 5, but it's an S. If you add up the length of all the sides of your shape, that's going to give you the total distance around the outside of that shape. So I'm going to add up 4 plus, I like to check them off sometimes as I go. 4 plus 4 plus 5 plus 5. And then I will know, obviously, that 5 plus 5 is 10, and then 2 4s make 8. So I have perimeter equals 18 centimeters. If I tell you it's centimeters, write centimeters. If I tell you it's meters, write meters. If I tell you it's purple polka dots, write purple polka dots. What you have to remember, that unit of measurement is part of your answer. So sometimes you're going to get this where they tell you some of the measurements on the outside. Sometimes you might see a question that looks like this, where they just tell you the length is 15 centimeters and the width is 3 centimeters. They're trying to trick you. Don't fall for it. They're trying to make you think about area, which you've also learned before. Remember, we are talking today about perimeter. So if I know the length from this point to this point is 15 centimeters, what do I also know? This line needs to be counted for perimeter as well. So I'm also going to label that line as 15 centimeters. They are opposite of each other. They are parallel. It's a rectangle. I know they're the same. Same thing for the width. This time it's going up and down. That's fine. You could switch it if you want. I don't really care, so long as you make sure that you have two 15s, and then you're going to have 3 centimeters here and 3 centimeters here. If it helps you when you're doing the problem, print it out, and then you can label it the way I have. If you don't need to do that and you can just look at it and do the formula in your head, then that's fine too. So now I'm going to find the perimeter. Labeling it is not enough. To find the perimeter, I have to add up all these sides. 3 plus 15 plus 3. You might want to do that. Just go around the shape. Plus 15 equals, well, I'm going to go, well, I know 15 plus 15 makes 30, and I know that 2 3s make 6, so my answer is 36. I'm not finished. I would say, am I done? And then you guys would say, no, you're not done. You forgot to write centimeters. So make sure you remember that unit of measurement. So that's how I figure out area when it comes to rectangles. Now watch this fancy thing I did. Not area, perimeter. Did I say area? I'm not sure now. Sometimes you're just talking and talking and talking on these videos. Who knows what you're saying? Okay, so when I'm figuring out the perimeter of squares, this was briefly covered. I talked about it in our class meeting. We haven't had the class meeting at the time I'm filming this, but I'm pretty sure we're going to end up talking about it in our class meeting when I go over the problem. But a square is made up of 4 equal sides. So do I have to tell you the length of the sides 4 times? No, I just have to tell you once. You're smart kids. If I tell you that the side equals 6 centimeters, then you know in your brain that this one's 6 centimeters, this one's 6 centimeters, this one's 6 centimeters, and this one is 6 centimeters. If I want to start here and find out the distance all the way around this square, well, I'm going to have to do 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6. That's how I find perimeter, right? Perimeter equals side plus side plus side plus side till I'm out of side. Side plus side plus side plus side. Yeah, but you're in grade 6, so you would do this the fastest way you know, which would be 6 times 4, obviously, right? So when you are talking about the perimeter of squares, you could say that your formula is perimeter equals sides times 4. My side is 6 centimeters, so perimeter equals 6 times 4. Perimeter equals, that's right, 24. Good job, guys. Done? No, I'm not done. I didn't write centimeters. My work got a little swished together there, so just to make sure my teacher can see it, I'm going to put a nice big fat square around it. I'm not asking you to do extra, but then it's really going to pop when my teacher looks at it. Cool? Cool. This is going to be the beginning, the first 3 pages, I think, of your assignment. The 4th page asks you to find the perimeter of a polygon. Sirens are going past my house. Sounds serious. You don't hear very many sirens down. I live in a teeny little neighborhood in a valley. You don't hear a lot of sirens down here. Okay. Polygons. Let's think about what we know about a polygon. How do I know if a shape is a polygon or a non-polygon? Well, I know that a polygon has equal angles. Do you need to know anything about the angles when you're talking about perimeter? Nope. I know that it is a closed shape. Does that really matter when I'm talking about perimeter? Not really. Maybe, I guess, in the sense that you could like pick a start and an end and go around, but it's not that big of a deal. The important part is that a regular polygon has equal sides. This is for a regular polygon. Remember we talked about It's like horrible in the world, but good in polygons to say you're only regular if you're all the same. Like not in the world, because I would pride myself on being an irregular polygon then, but just that's a way of remembering it. So if this is a regular polygon, and I did not label every single side because I know that in a regular polygon, this side is the same length as this side, and this side is the same length, and all of these different sides are the same length. Excuse me. This shape has, I'll count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sides. That's an octagon, guys. You should know that. So I have an 8-sided shape. I'm trying to figure out the distance around the entire shape. The total distance of, the total length of all of the sides. This is reminding me of squares, yo. If I know that one side equals 5 centimeters, this is the same, this is the same, this is the same, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, all the way around. So my perimeter is going to equal the 5, right? The number of side, or the length of each side times the number of sides. Well, in this case, my perimeter is going to equal 5, because I told you side equals 5. You've already got that information. It is not new. 5 times how many sides are here? Oh, I told you that too. It's 8. You're going to skip count. You're going to know this multiplication fact. You're going to do repeated addition. If you need to, you're going to use the multiplication chart, whatever is your level of comfort. We don't want to stress you out with the multiplication. This is a polygon perimeter, not test, but like work. That's what I want you to work on. Use the tools I have given you over the year to help you with your multiplication. Don't let that be what makes you get this wrong. You know what I mean? So use a calculator. I don't care. What I want to know is that you know how to figure out perimeter. So then you will tell me that perimeter equals 40. That's right, centimeters. Okay. So the reason that I showed you these different examples is because these are the exact things that I am asking you to do in your assignment today. So if you start working on the assignment and you think, what? Watch the video and say, oh, that's what she was talking about. Now that makes sense. And then if it's still not making sense, you guys know, text me. I've been meeting with lots of kids all day, different times of the day, like during the school hours, but like morning, noon, and night, morning, noon, and early evening. And we can go over the work because often you're just needing to see the example. So I'm hoping this helps. And then there's a little puzzle thing for you to do at the end. And that is this week's math. So it's all one lesson, but you're going to spread it out over the course of the week. It should take you a few hours to work on it. And maybe I'll throw a few word problems on there just to, you know, keep things interesting. Okay, I miss you. Have fun. Happy mathing.